welcome to Rave and Review, where we rave about and review any and all things pop culture or anything that interests us. I'm your co-host, Bre, and you can follow me at BreNavet26 on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm Kaya, and you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at kaya.r.pennington.
And you can follow Rave and Review on Instagram and Twitter at Rave_N_Rave_N_review. Before we get into it, be sure to follow us.
Confusing sometimes, guys.
Yeah.
Even for us.
Before we get into it, be sure to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and most importantly, share. Hit that share button, y'all. Hit that. Is there a share button? If there's a share button, hit that share button.
Do it all.
Hit that like.
Do
and
it all.
Please, if you feeling froggy, go ahead, hit the notification bell. You know you want to know when we here. When
you
the
know
girls
you
are
want
wrong.
to.
You know you want to know. Anyways, let's get into our first segment, one of my faves, Twitter conversations, where we discuss trending threads on Twitter. So there's been a video circulating on the Bird app of two women throwing tomato sauce on a glass protected Van Gogh painting to protest something about climate change. This brings us to our discussion, not on what they're protesting, but on how it feels, on how performative activism feels in general. Kaya, what's your thoughts on this fiasco?
So for those that are defending it, they're like, well, it's getting people talking. And so what they did, they did what they were supposed to do. And well, the painting was protected, so it'll be all right. But their protesting is more important. Here's my thing. What are they protesting? What are they protesting?
We didn't learn about what they're doing at all. Nothing.
Okay, because if you pull down a statue of a Confederate somebody, it clicks as to why you did that. These people are traitors and they don't deserve to be celebrated. I saw a statue of a pair of hands that were in front of some police station, and somebody had smeared red paint on those hands. The message clicks: blood on your hands. You throw tomato sauce on a Van Gogh painting. Van Gogh's a butthole. He had something to do with climate change. The museum are buttholes. They had something to do with climate change. What are you protesting? Yeah, people are talking, but they're not talking about your cause. They're talking about what it has to do with Van Gogh. I'm all for hey, let's do something to really catch people's eyes, but make sure it clicks when you do it. Confederate statue, hands in front of a police station with red paint smear. We get it, but Van Gogh, what does that do? What does that have to do with Van Gogh?
Van Gogh was poor and depressed.
Right, what does that have to do? And I know a lot of people are talking about, well, the painting will be all right. It wasn't even his. It was a replica. Regardless, let's say you didn't know that it was a replica. If it was a replica, if you deface something that is irreplaceable, is your organization, your cause, gonna put some bail money out for you? Because I highly and so this is why this is performative to me, because what was done does not center your cause, but the two people who did this. They are Katniss Everdeen or Trish Pryor or Harry, Hermione, or Ron or Percy. You're not Katniss. Newsflash, you're not Katniss. You're not Trish. You're not Harry, Ron, Hermione, Percy. You're not any of the dystopian YA heroines. You're not any of those people. This was not helpful. Y'all were just two people who wanted attention. Now this thus leads me into my spiel about performative activism in general. Now you'll see those repost these, retweet these if you're against rape or racism or misogyny, whatever, what have you, right? And then you'll also see under that post, you'll see, I see who skips this. And so, okay, and I'm gonna skip it every time, because what does that do? What does that do to just sit here and repost something that says I'm against this? What does that do? What does that really do?
No.
Like, are you
Just
sharing
weed out the
websites?
weirdos off your page.
I mean, because, like, yeah, I guess, I mean, there's that.
That's
But,
what
like,
it does.
because outside of that, what does it do? Like, are you sharing websites and helpful information about where SA victims can get help or stuff like that? Are you bringing light to cases that aren't getting enough coverage? Or are you just doing something for others to share so that you could say, hey, that came from me? Like, I don't get it. Like, what are you doing? What does that do? Now I'm a firm believer that everyone doesn't have to know all of your good deeds. Like, you don't have all your good deeds don't have to be done in public. You know, everyone doesn't have to know it. Because for me, I feel like if you have to showcase everything good that you do, how genuine is it for real?
Right.
How, but on the other hand, if you're gonna do this with the threat of I'm gonna block you, or I'm gonna unfollow you, or break relationships, because take it there, take that, because half of activism is educating, right? And now, yes, not everything needs to be like educated deeply, and I am also a firm believer of, you know, Google is free, go educate yourself. But if you're going to do this where there's a potential of I'm going to break relationships because it's that important to me, go the extra mile and put that information out, the information where people can get help, bringing light to cases. Like, if you're going to get into your activism bag, get into your activism bag, because all you're doing with that is just saying I'm against it, it's bad. Okay, now what? Like, and again, like, not everyone has to know your good deeds, but if it's that important to you that you're going to break relationships, that you are going to deface possible irreplaceable things, go the whole way and educate. Like, educate, be the activist, be the change that you want to see. So, like, go ahead and educate people. That's just me. If you're going to do all of that to the point where, because me personally, this is how I feel about those repost thieves, especially with that threat of I see who skips this, unfollow me, block me, because I will never share those. Because what do they do? What do they do? If you're gonna do that, if it's that important to you, get into your activism bag. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna do it don't do it halfway. Just go all the way. Otherwise, what are you doing? What does that say? But that's just me. What about you?
Well, I recently learned, I saw a video, I sent it to you before we started recording. It was just them, it was the girl saying stuff, well, we knew it was covered with glass and yada this and yada that, attempting to explain why they did it, but she never really explained why they did it. You know what I'm saying? There was no like reason, like, oh yeah, it's because Van Gogh did this, or the museum does this.
Did they even have a place in it? Did Van Gogh or the museum, did they even have a place in it?
Girl, I swear to God, didn't Van Gogh kill himself?
Didn't he? I think he did.
I swear to God, he had nothing to do with climate change. He wasn't a politician. This man painted paintings that no one cared for and died. He had nothing to do with climate change. And then, like, I don't get me wrong, right? Like, I appreciate non-peaceful protesting. I'm all for it, because I don't think these politicians are going to be able to really listen to us unless we get a little violent, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But this isn't violent, it's stupid. Like, okay, so like, I think there are other ways, more helpful ways to protest our imminent demise that features climate change. You know, like, how to say this? Like, I can't think of anything right now. Like, don't put me on the spot. But I, like, for example, like when we wanted justice for, well, not we, because I sure wasn't on the streets protesting. I should have, but I was not. I'm not built like that, y'all. I'm sorry. But
were you sharing links? Were you doing stuff outside?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. And I supported them from the house.
I mean, that's what I'm saying though. As long as you're sharing links that go beyond, hey, repost this if you're against that.
But like I said, I'm just not built like that. But I will support y'all. And what I'm trying to say is they burned down a police precinct to get their attention. Because why? It was the police precinct's fault. They had to hold this man accountable. So what you should be doing is going to the place where these folks, so the people who make the actual decisions, live. Go to their jobs, go to their desk, and then make them uncomfortable. Don't go throwing sauce on a paint don't do nothing, shawty. I'm sorry. It does nothing except make the employees have to wipe that off. And I promise you, an employee somewhere
is plotting your demise.
Plotting your demise because they had to wipe spaghetti sauce off of Van Gogh painting because you wanted to be cute. Sorry, it's a little stupid. You may want to find a better way to protest, because throwing sauce that somebody could have ate on a painting, it's not gonna do nothing, sweetheart. That could have made a good spaghetti. Good old-fashioned skilletini. You decided to throw it on paint. Girl, please. Folks is starving, you know. People is hungry. Anyways.
It could have, I mean, I just...
Girl, you could have made a good old tomato soup.
It got people talking, but what did it get people talking about? Like...
No, it got to talking about how stupid it is to throw tomato soup. I mean, spaghetti's tomato soup, spaghetti. It's all tomatoes on a Van Gogh painting.
Before we get into our next segment, can we just take a minute to recognize our costumes? Jeepers, can you guess my costume?
And I ain't nobody special, y'all. I just said I would just be a cat today. And the camera's not showing it, but I have a pound of glitter sitting upon my eyelids. And it
shall be recognized.
It will be recognized, okay? Mind y'all, this costume is for a 3-year-old, but I squeezed it on my wrist. I squeezed it on, okay? Okay, I need some appreciation right now, okay? Clap.
We do this, guys. We do W's. This for you guys.
If this was live, I'd be like W's in the chat right now. Right now. Anyway, go ahead.
And with that, let's get into our next segment, Tropes We Wish Would Die, where we talk about tired tropes in media that we wish would just go away. Today, we're talking about the struggle/toxic love trope. So, Bre, how do you feel about this trope? Does it need to die for you? Oh, God. Your silence says everything.
I am on the fence for this one. Okay, stick with me now. Stick with me. All right. I like to read books about this, but you want to know something, Kaya? Only my therapist deserves the answer as to why I enjoy this trope. All right.
But can I just say, do you enjoy this trope, or do you just enjoy drama? Like
I like the drama.
Okay, because there's struggle, love, and toxicity in it, and then there's just drama in a romance.
But I kind of like some of the toxic stuff. But let me explain myself. All right. I think that some writers don't know the fine line of trials and tribulations and romanticizing abuse. Right. That's not what I'm not about to read that. I'm not about to read nobody getting abused. Now, I think you're kind of right. I like drama. You know what I'm saying? Cheat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Have a side chick somewhere. Maybe he has an entire family across in New York City living in a nice, comfy condo and y'all living in a shack. You know what I'm saying? That's that's the kind of drama I like. But please, with the verbal, don't do the verbal abuse. Don't do the physical abuse. No abuse is allowed. I don't like reading it. I'm not for it. I will close the book fast. And a lot of writers do like writing about the abuse part. For what reason? I don't know why you would want to write that. Or why you would want to read it. I do think that oftentimes they don't find themselves, they do target younger audiences for this trope, young girls to be specific, because I used to love this trope in high school and middle school. This is my bread and butter. It's all I read, it's all I consumed. I'm so serious, Kaya. It's all I like to read besides dystopian and fantasy, and I quickly learned that it was weird. And so you can say that it's just fiction and that it's not real people, but that's exactly what y'all problem is. Y'all think that things just don't happen for some reason, or that someone y'all need to. I'm about to go off on a tangent real quick. Kai, can I go off on a quick tangent?
Go off on your tangent.
Okay, so I watch anime, y'all. Okay, I'm about to get real serious here. I watch a whole lot of anime, y'all. Okay.
I just want to say though, real quick, I'm looking down, but I'm not looking down like disinterested at what you have to say. I have to keep my tablet unlocked. So
I know, girlie.
okay.
I trust you.
Okay.
But I watch a whole lot of anime, y'all. All right. And so if you also watch anime, you know that fan bases and the writers have a really bad habit of sexualizing minors. And they'll like create like these images, or they'll ship these two minors and like draw like sexual stuff. And I'm just like, hey, them kids. Them is kids, and use an adult, and that's kind of weird. They'd be like, it's just anime, it's not real. And they'd be like, I aged them up, so it doesn't matter. I'm just like, but you do realize that fantasizing a minor to be older so that you can see them in a sexual light is also extremely weird too, right? Like,
yep.
This is completely a whole different tangent, but it makes me so mad because these anime fans or people in general see these fictional characters. They don't see them as real people. And I think that's why we find people being so desensitized to things all the time. Like, everyone is just so desensitized to everything, and they think, oh, these people aren't real, so I can laugh about this. Or
even with this tangent fits really good. I think this tangent fits really good into the thing that we're gonna talk about later sometime, an episode about women in nerdom fandoms and stuff.
Girl, let me tell you, I'm gonna really get into that. But like these they just completely separate humans from fiction for some reason. It's one thing to be like, oh well, it's one thing to like, who cares about the dragon in Game of Thrones? Okay, it's a dragon. Dragons never existed. However, when it comes to the people in Game of Thrones, you should kind of feel a little bit of empathy towards them, just a little bit, because they're supposed to represent people. And that's kind of what I think that this trope kind of supports. It kind of supports the fact that it's okay to do this kind of stuff as long as it's not a real person. But like to read it, to write about it is indulging in the behavior. It's like, right? I'm not tripping, am I? Like, isn't it not kind of like, I don't know. I just I don't know. It's just I feel like people kind of really need to get a grip on reality when they read. Of course, it's fiction, but you need to like be able to have the range, or at least the brain power to understand that this could actually happen to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. And when you romanticize it, it kind of takes away the reality factor from it. There we go. So, do I think the trope needs to die? Yeah, it kind of needs to go. Sorry.
So my rant, I'm gonna go like, I don't know, kind of maybe further into it, to the dangerous aspects of it. So I hate this passion with a trope. I hate this trope with a passion, rather. I hate. And over the past few weeks, I've been watching a bunch of YouTubers, Kenny JD, Amanda the Jedi, and Dylan. I forget Dylan's username, but I've been watching a whole bunch of YouTubers tear down the After series, which is something that I love to do. I love to watch people tear down disgusting things that I also find disgusting. It brings me joy.
I've never read After.
I started reading it because I saw the trailer in 12th grade, and I was like, oh, that seems cute.
It's a book? A movie?
Yeah. And so the trailer came out in 12th grade, and so I was like, oh, that seems cute. And so I started reading it. I started reading the original when it was still, well, no, not the original.
Harry Styles fan fiction?
Yeah. It was still, so like names were changed, but like I was still reading it. And so it was a part, I'm not even gonna give a spoiler alert because no one should read it. So it was a part where like we find out that the main character, Hardin, originally started dating Tessa, the main female character, as a bet that he could take her virginity, and then he had to like show it to his friends. So he had to show the proof, which would be her bleeding. And it's like, I've read stuff like that before where the male, like, it's at first a bet to take the virginity, or to get them to sleep with them, and then it turns into something more. But it's never done, the ones that I've read, it's never done in such a way that made me feel so disgusted. Like, and I know that kind of sounds like Kaya. That whole trope seems disgusting, of like trying to get somebody to sleep with you under false pretenses. Yeah. But it's a way to do it. It's a way to hear. He went through with it.
My brain traveled to a completely different place a couple seconds. I've been listening. I was just like, my brain went down a whole rabbit hole. I'm sorry.
So like that, like
I was gone for a couple seconds.
Like, I've read stuff like that, but like this dude went through with it. Like, he showed them where she bled and all of that stuff, and it's like, and then still like So anyway, let me get back to my spell. So like, I blame Twilight for all of this. I do. I blame Twilight. It's your fault. It's Edward and Jacob and Bella and Little Retrograde. It's all of their fault.
What Bella do?
It's all their fault. And you know what? It's even Elena and Damon and Stefan. It's all their fault too. And I'm a TVD fan too. I'm a Vampire Diaries fan too. Much prefer Vampire Diaries over Twilight, but it's their fault too. Let me get into it. And I do want to say, I do have a video about how my disgust at romanticizing abusive situations. It's on my channel. Feel free to check it out. But all these stories where the main male love interest is super abusive / mean to the main female love interest, or just high-key creepy, and we're supposed to think it's cute. Twilight and the Vampire Diaries. The vampires are somehow in the girl's room watching her sleep. Unknowingly to her. She doesn't know. So a tween, that's so cute. An adult. Bro, how you get in my room? In my house?
Literally. 911.
Especially since the majority of these vampire stories is like you have to be invited in. How did you get in here? How? So and so After, which started out as a Harry Styles fanfic with the girl being a self-insert of the author, who I'm thinking would have still been much older than Harry Styles at the time of writing. I'm thinking.
Hey, no way. It gets worse.
I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking she had to be. Anyway, so he's super abusive and possessive. His name's not Harry. In the original fanfic it is, but it's changed to Hardin for the later actual book. And
that's definitely a huge difference, Hardin and Harry. Huh?
Which, by the way, this kind of writing makes me think, if this kind of stuff can get published and then get movie deals,
why can my stuff get published?
Babes, go ahead and write your screenplay, write your play, write your book, do it.
Write that poem, that short story. Just do it, girl. Write it.
Do it.
Because if the pink sauce lady could get a deal with her sauce, and you can get a deal with your
and don't even know what FDA is, do it. Just do it. Do it.
Said it's not a drug.
Anyway, let's get back on topic.
Don't promote your health.
Let's get back on topic. Let's not even go there. So where was I at? Anyway, he's super abusive and possessive towards her. She can't hang out with her friends, or
red flag.
Right. She can't hang out with her friends. She can't hang out with males, people of the male sex. They break up, they make up, they break up, they make up. And it's just like, it's hard to read. It's tiring to read and to watch. So I'm sure it must have been tiring to go through. So like, why? Why would you go through that? Why would you put yourself through that? Why? Now I want you to think about the audience that these things are garnered to. Now, granted, 50 Shades and 365 Days, which I didn't bring up in my intro, but they're in there too, as well as Purple Hearts, and I'm going to get into Purple Hearts in a minute. They're the adult version, but the adult version of what? Twilight. It comes back to Twilight. It all comes back to Twilight.
Everything is Twilight's fault.
Everything comes back to Twilight. So the Twilight and the Vampire Diaries was what, probably 2009 to 2013, 2016. So I was a preteen to a teen with this stuff. Purple Heart, which is a newer thing, it's like 2022, it's a Netflix thing, was supposed to be this enemies to lovers Netflix thing, but was really political propaganda. The liberal girl and the conservative boy, only she changes all her beliefs for him, but he's still a piece of crap and his friends are still pieces of crap. These medias are garnered towards young adults, specifically, like you said, young girls. And let me tell you something, we are not a relationship channel, but when you start talking about this kind of trope, you kind of have to get into it.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. Somebody punching a hole in a wall or throwing a vase at a wall 2 inches from your face is not cute. That's a red flag. Being overly possessive to the point where you can't hang out with friends or people of the male sex isn't cute. That's a red flag. Having to change your entire belief system and morals for somebody who doesn't compromise or changes theirs for you. That's not cute. That's not healthy. That's a red flag. And side note, in this political climate, there is no, well, I don't agree with your racist stance, but you're cute, so let's go. Either you tolerate that mess or you don't. Reevaluate yourself. Being borderline, if not just totally sexually abusive to you, is not cute and domineering. That's a red flag. And I try so hard not to kink shame. I really do, because we'll get you going, and that's your business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. To each their own. That being said, why is it that why is your fantasy to be sexually objected to abuse to the point where you're just some sex slave with no thoughts to your own wants or needs? Why is that your fantasy? To each their own, but reevaluate what you think is healthy.
Right.
And hey, it's not just them. It's not just them. We have our own little struggle love stories that I wish we would break free of, and I won't give any specific names of struggle love media for us, because like I just feel like everything that is mostly anyway. If you have to, like I said, we're not a relationship channel. But
we should have a relationship podcast. I think we would kill it. 2 single girls.
Right.
Like
telling
them
you
guys,
what to do.
They be single, unmarried, talking about some, you as a woman should.
Single and not ready to mingle.
Right.
But listen, look. If you have to go through so much crap in a relationship just to say that you are with somebody black, that's not a flex and it's not healthy. That's a red flag.
Wait, what? Rewind. Say that again.
So if you have to go through all this crap just to say that you're with somebody black, because that's this from the struggle love mediums in our community, that's typically what I've been seeing, especially with a certain play/movie, right? Anyway, if you just have to struggle through it because that's marriage and it's all about black love. But if you have to go through all of that just to say you're with somebody black, that's not love, and maybe it's not worth it
at all.
If you're being made to feel like you're in the bachelor/bachelorette to be with somebody, that's not okay. Just so that you can say, if you have to jump through hoops to be with somebody just so that you can say you have black love, maybe it's not worth it. Go where the love is. Go where the love is, where you feel unconditionally loved and where you can return it.
Even if you ain't gotta be with nobody, girl, please.
Just
love your peace in yourself.
I really wish that we would break these chains. Otherwise, all that other mess is not healthy, and I wish the media, books, TV, films, all of it would stop portraying it like it's hot and like it's healthy. It's not. Look, I'll put it this way and then move on. Just like there's a right way and a wrong way to write enemies to lovers and dark romance, because honestly, I think what you were describing, you like a dark romance, which is okay. Like there's a right way and a wrong way. There's a right way and a wrong way to write dark romance. There's a right way and a wrong way to write enemies to lovers. There's also a right way and a wrong way to show the ups and downs of love in general without making it struggle like and struggle love and toxic. There are wrong way. These are the wrong ways, and we need to move past it. If only for the next generation of girls and people in general who are gonna see this and think it's cute and healthy. And
they gonna read them books as long as Wattpad is free.
And because who was Wattpad centered for? Who used Wattpad? Who was Wattpad centered for?
Girls, me, girl. I was on Wattpad like no tomorrow. I used to read like 3, 4, 5 books a night.
But that's just me. I'm through.
And I go back to revisit them books nowadays, and they be trash. I'm like, what was I reading?
Why was I reading this? The adolescent mind.
In middle school at midnight, I was cooked. Anyway, before we get into our next segment, let's take a minute to send it over to our promoter so they can let you know where to find us.
Like what you're hearing?
Follow us for more.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, and YouTube.
And don't forget to share, like, and comment.
Woo!
Woo! You know you love us. Thank you, promoters. Now let's get into our spooky movie review. And today, the movie is going to be the newest Michael Myers film, Halloween Ends.
And because I don't care for horror movies because I find them redundant, and that's not to say anything bad about this one. I've heard mixed reviews. I just don't care for the genre of horror, this type of horror, because I find it redundant, and I did not have the time to watch it. Anywho, because I am crap ton with production duties right now, which sucks. But anyway, I'm just gonna forgo my review and pass it on to Bre. So, how did you feel about it?
So I only recently watched the other Halloween movie that came out like a year ago or two. My apologies. And this one dropped right around spooky time, which, like, of course, I could not watch the movie, right? So it definitely piqued my interest, and I begged Kaya to review it. I said, Kaya, I would literally put on a clown costume and dance like Bojangles as long as that's what I said verbatim, right, Kaya?
I have no idea anymore.
You don't remember?
No.
But that's what I said. There's an audio message. There's proof. I said that. Okay, and I'm doing it. And so we reviewing Michael Myers. And so this movie kind of starts out highlighting the impact Michael Myers has had on the community, which I, expect to be a lot. The nigga been kind of terrorizing the community for over 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it does so by showing, this little kid, he's a brat. Okay? He's a brat. He's terrorizing his babysitter. All right, he kind of pranks the babysitter and makes him think like Michael Myers is in the house, and he locks him inside this basement place. And of course, the babysitter, he a little scared cat, so he starts busting down the door, and he kind of, I'm not gonna spoil it, but
I'm not gonna say, because this is a newer film.
It is a newer film, and so I'm not gonna spoil it. But it's kind of hard to I'm gonna just say it just because it's hard to not get around.
But I will say this before she says it. Like I said, spoilers. So if you do not wish to be spoiled and you want to see it, I will put a timestamp up where you can skip to what's in the headlines and then come back and watch her review of it.
Yes, I'm not gonna give away anything. I'm not gonna give away anything that wasn't obvious, right? But he kills the kid on accident, and I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say the kid had it coming. But he had it coming, y'all. I'm sorry. You don't lock folks in a room. And so this is what happened, right? So the guy, he was locked in the basement door. He was kicking down the door. And once the door was finally kicked down, the little kid get hit in the head and he fall down the steps and he dies. First of all, your parents are talking not to lock folks. You need to have some decorum, little guy. I don't know. You don't lock kids in rooms like that. But anyways, RP little boy. I do think that was an interesting way of showing the impact that Michael Myers had on the community. It also showed like a little montage of murders that happened throughout the years that happened on Halloween, and people, you see the police asking, "Hey, you think Michael did it?" And he's just like, "Nah, Michael uses knives." Like, it shows that like the community has been greatly affected, and it's almost like Michael is still there on Halloween, even though he is not. Excuse me, I'm sorry. These White Claws is a little too carbonated. Anyways, in this movie, it has been 4 years since he terrorized the town, and they're kind of saying that it's Laurie's fault, which is valid. She did provoke the man. You don't move into a house and make it a trap and then lead him there and then be like, like, you can't just make a Pikachu face when he walks around the town killing everybody. Like, you kind of did that, Laurie. But I do kind of feel bad for her though, because like, she can't go grocery shopping without folks saying, "Look what happened to my mama." Like, Michael did that, y'all, not Laurie. Get the woman a break. Can she please pick up some tortilla chips without being accused of murder? I'm sure that would be nice. But basically, they're kind of like waiting for Michael to come back because, of course, he's not in prison anymore. He's just kind of there. And we find out where Michael lives, Kaya. Michael has a bat cave with rusty knives. I'm dead serious, y'all. Michael Myers has a bat cave with rusty knives. That's where he lives. And apparently, when he's not roaming the town killing people, he has homeless people bring him people to kill. Now, what does he eat? I don't know. That's concerning. I don't know what he does. I don't know what Michael be eating in that sewer. But he hangs out there. I do think it's wild how Laurie's granddaughter was told that the guy she's going for, which is the babysitter who killed the boy on accident, she was told that the boy had killed a kid, and she was just kind of like, "I don't care. He's mine." I'm like, girl, what? At the time, I wasn't sure she had any context. I found out she did have context, but still, like, she's too old. She's not even a teenager, Kyle. This is a grown woman. Like, this is like, she literally goes to the instant love trope. She knows this man for 2 weeks and she falls in love with him. I'm just like, this don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. I've known people for longer and I still don't care for them. Like, please. It's just, that's not the kind of things you brush past, and that's why I didn't really feel bad for her towards the end. I'm not going to spoil the end, but I don't feel bad for her, right? And also, I'm dancing around spoilers, y'all. But since when were teenagers this violent? In the movie, there's these group of teenagers who are bullying Corey, aka the babysitter who killed the kid on accident. Since when were teenagers violent? Like, I know teenagers like roast people, or why you wearing them shoes? Like, that's the bullying I'm used to. Y'all down for murder? This is what you do? Like, I've never seen violent teenagers like this before, ever. These kids were horrible to this poor boy Corey. Mind you, this is before he lost his mind, right? They kind of triggered it, and I hate to say it, but I think a huge theme, one large theme in this movie is the fact that sometimes people can trigger the evil in someone sometimes. For example, Corey. Them kids did horrible things to him, kind of made him feel like, okay, well, it doesn't matter what I do. This town is going to see me as a monster for accidentally killing a kid, so I may as well become the monster, right? And so I think that's a very large theme in the movie. I think it's a good theme. However, the execution of the theme was mediocre. It's kind of predictable. I saw it coming from a mile away. And so after the high school kids terrorized Corey comes into contact with Michael, and it's kind of like Michael saw himself in Corey, which was weird. Like, that was really weird, because like it makes you ask yourself, what is Michael? Because Michael has been killed, set on fire, stabbed to death, shot, and yet he's still alive. So is he some kind of entity? Like throughout the
metaphor.
Huh?
At this point, he's a metaphor.
Yeah, he's kind of like a metaphor. And you're right, Kaya, because they start to call him the boogeyman. And they're saying that they terrorized Corey because they couldn't, like, Michael Myers was around, so they had to find a new boogeyman. That ended up being Corey, and he ended up being terrorized by the town until Mike decided to emerge again. But in this movie, it seems like they were trying to make Michael Myers emerge in Corey, but like kind of not emerge in Corey, which was weird to me. Because it's called Halloween Ends, and so midway through the movie, I was assuming that, hey, Halloween's going to end in Michael and restart in Corey. I was disappointed. This movie was extremely anticlimactic because, like, what was the point of it if you was just like going to give us what we've been kind of waiting for, kind of expecting? Like, at one point, I was thinking that Michael's going to die of old age after killing somebody. He's going to have a heart attack from stabbing somebody too much. His blood pressure was going to get too high.
Anticlimactic.
It's even worse than that. It's worse than that. Even when they took off the mask, he was just some regular old looking dude. He was old as crap, old as dirt. Tell me you could beat this old man up, by the way. It's an old fart living in a sewer. Okay. But we all know why it's called Halloween Ends, right? It's because Michael kills. He kills, but he dies. Laurie kills Michael in the most anticlimactic way. She stabs him. I mean, you could say it's anticlimactic, but it's also like kind of reminiscent of the way he kills everybody else. He stabs people to death, and she stabs him to death. But like, still, like, I would have preferred the fire. Like, give me something that's going, like, I didn't feel nothing from it. I felt nothing when he died. I didn't feel anything. I was really living for the thought that Corey was going to emerge through Michael Myers. I would have preferred that and then have left it on that comma. No new movies, because I'm tired. I'm a little tired. But leave it on that comma of Corey emerging as the new Michael Myers. I don't like how it ends. I was just like, I could have lived without watching this. And my brother could have told me about it and I would have been surprised at all. Like, you don't have to watch this movie to know what happens. Personally, to me, it's not that great. I will watch Nope 1,000 times before I watch this movie. Sorry, I guess because I'm kind of like you, Kaya. I kind of prefer things with more of a storytelling aspect and character development. This doesn't really have that. It's just an angsty young adult, and she's not a teenager. She is about our age, and she's very angsty. I guess, seeing your mom and dad die brutally to a serial killer is kind of harsh, but she's a little too angsty for me. I couldn't be her friend. Sorry. But all in all, in my opinion, the movie is good if you want a good scare for Halloween, but I'm not 100% sure if it's amazing. It's not groundbreaking. It's definitely not new. I don't recommend it if you want to watch something and be like, like, it's not that kind of movie. This is the kind of movie you sit back with a big old box of popcorn and with salty popcorn and a soda and maybe some candy and watch mindlessly. It's not that kind of movie, y'all. I would give it a solid 6 out of 10 if I had to rate it. Not that great.
I will
Didn't miss nothing, Kaya.
I will say this because I guess I should at least explain why I don't care for horror. I don't care for this, especially when the same dude has been chasing the same for 40 freaking years. I don't care. It's a little redundant, but like, I truly don't care for these specific type of horrors because I don't need to see you battle the demon that's in your house that's telling you to get out. Just get out. Just leave. Just get out. Just get out. Like, my kind of horror is spooky, is Sweeney Todd. It's Beetlejuice. It's like, that's the only time I watch a movie where the ghosts are telling you to get out, Beetlejuice, because that's a different kind of thing. Sleepy Hollow, like that. It's on those lines, like Tim Burton, or there are some other spooky-ish that I can't think of that come to mind. But I like something that's more than just Get Out,
Like
or I've
after
been
watching
chasing. Go ahead.
after watching this, I kind of see what you feel because like it kind of reminded me like I like the spooky feel, but only in October. I do think that there are some scary movies that kind of like feel like action movies, more like, and not because like I will say though that Conjuring franchise is good to me. I like the Conjuring franchise. It scared the crap out of me. It scares me, especially that one in London. I had nightmares about it last night. It's scary. It's really scary. I think that's one of the good franchises, but like I said, like I think I'm on your side a little bit.
Or that other, what's the other, Ready or Not, I think it is. Like that's the kind of that's the kind of horror that I can like just mindlessly get out and you're not gonna leave, or I'm gonna chase you for 40 something years. And like I like something a little bit of so.
Halloween should have ended. Halloween End should have came a decade earlier. Sorry.
But let's go ahead and move on. I just felt the need that let me go ahead and explain why. And
You're
also I
valid.
couldn't.
Your opinion is very valid, Kaya.
Also, I couldn't watch it because I have like so many other films that I have to watch for one class alone, and I'm on production.
She's a busy girl.
Really am, and like
she's a very busy girl. Okay, let me stop.
The rest of October is going to be incredibly busy for me. Like, ugh. Anyway, you guys don't need to know that. Let's get into our last segment. It's time for What's in the Headlines, where we rave and review celebrity news and gossip. Today, we're talking about the new Glee documentary that's supposed to be coming out in the near future. We're talking about the K-pop band BTS having to do mandatory military
that country accent.
Mandatory military 2 to 5 year service for the South Korean military. And we're also talking about Megan Thee Stallion taking a break, stepping back from the limelight to take a break for her mental health. So let's start with it's not out yet, but let's start with the upcoming Glee documentary that's supposed to show the downsides of the behind the scenes drama. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited. I'm practically frothing at the mouth. Okay, Kaya. I'm dying to see this because girl, the way all them folks practically hate, they don't want to, they definitely talk about Glee still, but they hate Glee. Hate it. And I wanted to know what happened behind the scenes. I want to know all the tea, all the drama. I want to know what Lea Michele was really doing back there. And I want to know, can she, is the reading thing a conspiracy?
You know what? That's recent for me. I didn't know that was like a rumor until like a few months ago.
Girl, I heard she couldn't read, and what's crazy is she ain't said that she could read. She never proved that she could read. She kind of just said, yes, I know how to read. It's obvious. I'm just like, well, how obvious? Read Cat in the Hat right now. Read Cat in the Hat.
Right here and right now. Let's see.
Right now. Read it like 50 Cent. If you can read this one page of the Harry Potter book, nigga. I'm sorry, I'm dying over here. If you could, Lea Michele, if you can read one page of the Harry Potter book, then I will believe that you know how to read. But until then, you simply cannot read. But that's really what I'm watching for. I'm gonna watch to see if number one, to see if Lea Michele knows how to read. Number two, to see how racist Lea Michele was. And number three, I heard that Amber Riley performed some of her songs live on set. And I want to see if they have behind the scenes footage of it. Because I would sell my left foot to hear Amber Riley sing live. What you think, Kaya?
I'm not really one for these kind of documentaries. Like, if I'm gonna watch a documentary, it has to be about history, and I mean real history. You know, like the ancient ways, huh?
Like King Tut.
Yes, like the ancient ways of life, Roman, Egyptian, and all of that. The witch trials, the enslaved rebellions, stuff like that. I don't really much care for this kind of documentary, not because I don't want to hear about the horrors people face, because I think that's important to like kind of, talk about. But I feel like a lot of those documentaries kind of focus more on the messy drama than like the actual, hey, this affected me in this way kind of stuff. And so typically I don't kind of go for these. However, that being said, there are two kind of behind the scene drama docs I'll be set for. One is Sleepy Hollow. Like if we ever get a what went wrong behind the scenes for Sleepy Hollow, I'd be set for that one.
I'm gonna be sad for that one too.
The other is this. Look, when I tell you I'm set, I'm set. Like I'm set. I'm here for I will be watching that. But that's just me.
Well, let's get into the next topic, which is the band members from BTS having to do mandatory 2 to 5 years. I thought it was 3.
I don't know. It's between, because I saw 2 years and then I saw somebody talking about 5 years, and it's 2 to 5.
Or I'll be crying and throwing up. Anyways, 5-year service in the South Korean military. Kaya, your thoughts?
Imagine wanting to be a boy band, but knowing at some point you have to do like 2 to 5 year mandatory military service.
I found a way out of Korea.
And you know what? They actually are exempt, but people were talking about if it would be fair of them to not do it. But like, given that they're on such a big scale, they actually are exempt. So, and not being able to do so for 2020, because they won't be able to like make music or like be an actual band again until at least like 2025. I feel bad. And of course, we don't know their feelings on it, if they're happy or, if they want to or not. And I'm sure they can't publicly share their feelings for a multitude of reasons. But I feel bad for them. Like, I really do. Like, people are talking about, well, Psy did it, Psy is Gangnam Style. But like, he did that before he got big. Imagine already being established and then it's just like, well, you gotta go do this now. Like, I feel bad, and I hope everything works out for them. Like, oof. But that's just me. What about you?
It's really scary. Like, being a part of any military around the world is horrifying. Okay? Everybody is not built for that. I know I'm not built for that. Okay? I remember I'm thinking I'm gonna go to the Navy. Girl, when they told me I had to learn how to swim,
I remember, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I remember watching this TikTok, somebody was quoting somebody else. They were like, you don't know how hard this life is, the life being the military life. And then they were responding to that. They were like, yeah, we do. That's why we didn't sign up. Like,
exactly. When they said I had to learn how to swim, like, I was like, oh, I'm out. Because I'm not, well, what am I swimming for? Who I'm swimming to? What am I swimming from? Like, that was a huge, I'm turning around, you turn. But everybody's not built for the military. And 2 to 3 to 5 years is a long time in terms of the music industry. That's enough time to be replaced. You know what I'm saying? BTS is a huge international musical entity that really can't be compared to anybody else. Like, even One Direction didn't have the kind of sauce that BTS got. I'm sorry. And yep. I hope I don't make the stands mad, but that's the truth. BTS is international and they can't be compared to anybody else.
They went to the White House.
They went to the White House.
I don't know, but they went to the White House. Like,
they went to the White House and them boys can dance. Have you seen them dance before, Kaya? Mm-hmm. They get down. I'm just like, hold on. Now this is the choreography I can get with. I'm not really a K-pop stan, but I will, and I can and will appreciate the hard work they put into it, and the fact that they do make hits. Them boys make hits. They make good music, and yeah. Anyways, we don't know how different the world is going to be once they get out. The world could end.
Not to be morbid or anything.
Not to be morbid or cynical, but hey, the world is, the climate is kind of getting a little weird, right? It's kind of 35 degrees right now. It's going to be 80 degrees this weekend. It's a little concerning.
64 yesterday, 54 today was the high.
Freezing my socks off today, but it's just scary. a lot. 2 to 3 years is a long time, and I'm sure that they were well aware of having to serve in the military way before I was. At least I know the army, their band was, they knew for a long time, but as someone who was not really into the BTS like that, I didn't know until now. But I'm sure they already knew, and I'm sure they probably had already come to terms with it. But if not, I'm so sorry, boys. I hope y'all stay safe. I hope y'all stay happy, and I hope that when y'all come back on top. BTS on top, baby.
And with that, let's get into our last topic. We're talking about Megan Thee Stallion taking a step away from the limelight in light of recent events, and she just wants to focus on her mental health because, you know, bad bitches have bad days too. That's her website.
I know that's right.
That's her website. I'm quoting that.
Check it
I'm not
out.
just cussing for cussing's sake.
She is.
A little bit. So let's talk about it. How do you feel? What are your thoughts on Megan Thee Stallion stepping away from the limelight to focus on her mental health?
That girl has been grinding since before I graduated high school. Okay, she came out the gate not playing. She has been touring the world, dropped album after album after EP after mixtape. That girl been going hard.
Went to college and got her degree.
Got her degree. All right, she been doing her thing. So I think that she's taking a well-deserved break. Because I personally, hitting my mic. Personally, with the way I'm set up, would not be able to work that hard. With I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't tour the world and go to college at the same time. I couldn't do it. And she did it. And so I'm just saying that I'm very proud of you, Meg. You did great on SNL. Performances was top tier. You look beautiful as per usual. I love you, girl. Enjoy your break. You know what I'm saying? Go sit on the yacht. Go sit on the yacht, drink some mimosas, you know, have some oysters, some champagne, do whatever. Enjoy your break, sweetheart. What you think, Kaya?
You know, I said something similar along the lines when we were talking about Tom Holland taking his break. People are just so cruel to celebrities for no reason, and somehow Megan Thee Stallion's name is caught up in whatever
everything
beef the Barbs have. So, and then there's people talking about, like, you know, well, they chose this lifestyle. It's like, y'all would fold under this pressure. So please stop acting like that's just something that they have to deal with, because y'all snap at little things within your everyday life. Please be for real. I say all that to say we need to stop, because I'm not one to stand celebrities. I don't think we should stand celebrities, but I also do think, you know, we should. I think we shouldn't hold them to pedestals. They are, you know, they need to be held accountable like everyone else. But I also think we should humanize them, because they are human with human feelings. All of this stuff talking about her dead, like her parents, her mom and stuff, that's sick. You're sick. For what reason? For what reason? For what reason? Like, I don't get it. Are you good?
That White Claw got me, girl. I'm sorry.
So I say all of that to say, like, do enjoy your break. Know that you are really, I would say she's a GOAT. I really would, because like the amount of stuff that she's done and
while
continuing to do while facing all kinds of like just harassment and bullying.
If I lost my mama, I put down inside. And she has done all that she's done without the matriarch of her family. Not just her mother, but her grandmother. That's two matriarchs. Mm-hmm. I would die on the inside. I would freaking crumble.
And then all these people just like coming at her for no reason, much like Lizzo and my rant with Lizzo. Y'all don't have a problem with her. Y'all just have a problem that she's a successful woman, a successful black woman who is built. She doesn't fit your feminine gaze, and so now you have an issue. Leave her alone. Let her get her break. I hope she gets her break. I hope she comes back feeling energized and loved. So that's all I have to say on it.
Watch out for the big girls.
Let humans, let celebrities be humanized, because you know what, Bre? You know what? Bad bitches have bad days too.
We have bad days too. Okay, mine just have to be every day. But we have bad days too. Okay.
I'm through.
Right. Anyways, well, that's what's in the headlines. And that's our show. Thanks for listening and watching. If you like our content, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, share. We
Engaging helps us a lot. Sharing helps us a lot.
Ask
Leave
them
comments.
questions. Y'all may not know this, but Kaya likes to fight, okay? She likes to argue. She's a feisty girl, okay? Don't get it twisted. She will argue with you if you disagree with us happily.
Put some comments. Be respectful.
Be respectful.
Let's have an adult conversation in the comments.
If
let us
you
know.
get disrespectful, we're gonna have to get disrespectful back, and you don't want a Capricorn and a Gemini coming at you at the same time. That's a bad combination. I'm telling you right now.
So leave comments in the description. Let us know anything you would like to see more of. Maybe you want us to talk about or agree, disagree. Engage with us.
Engage. Ask us questions. Answer our questions. Tell us stuff that may have flown over our heads while being respectful.
We're big on being respectful.
Respect. You know, we from the South. Respect is big. You know what I'm saying? It's giving yes ma'am, no ma'am over here. All right. Anyways, that's our show. Bye.
See you next time.